You know how it is when you have syphilis and your homies are ticked off with you, so you have to go and take over 3 ships and hold a town hostage? Yeah, that was Blackbeard. We believe his real name was Edward Thatch, or maybe Teach, and he was born in 1680 around Bristol, in England. He was tall and menacing and had a braided beard that he would set on fire during fights, which, if you ask me, is pretty lit.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
He wasn't just a pirate. He was a symbol of fear. Blackbeard learned his trade by sailing up and down America's east coast under another pirate, a pirate by the name of Ben Hornigold. Eventually, though, he took over his own ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge. The Queen Anne's Revenge was formerly a slave ship, and there were still slaves on board when Blackbeard had taken it over. So Blackbeard gave them an ultimatum: join him or go to where they were going. And most of the slaves said,
Yeah, no, we'll go with you.
Yeah, for sure. We'll go with you. At his side, a strange ally by the name of Stede Bonnet. He was known as the Gentleman Pirate, a nobleman turned outlaw. At some point, Blackbeard took over Bonnet's crew, because Bonnet was rich and awkward and didn't really know how to pirate a ship. But here's where the legend begins to crack. Despite their reputation, Blackbeard's crew hadn't scored a huge haul in months. Morale was sinking and timbers were flaring, and the offer from King James I offered any pirate a full pardon as soon as they stopped their pirating ways. It was a one-time deal, and many pirates took it. Bonnet did. Blackbeard didn't. Instead, Blackbeard did one of the craziest things of his already pretty insane career. In May of 1718, he and his crew went to the bustling port of Charlestown, today Charleston, and blockaded it. All 9 ships that were in the port were captured. The sailors and passengers on board were kidnapped. The town froze. Shipping stopped. Trade came to a standstill, and Blackbeard made his demand: 1 chest full of medicine. I'm going to pause the narrative right here for a second because I actually asked ChatGPT to see if I could add anything funny in this script. And when it came to why Blackbeard had asked for a chest full of medicine, ChatGPT said, "Pirate life, baby!" Blackbeard sent messengers out to the town and gave them 2 days to comply, but the messengers didn't return. He threatened to kill all the passengers, but the messengers still didn't return. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. Finally, they did. Turns out they had been capsized, and then stranded on a beach, and by the time they finally got to the town, they got drunk with some old friends. Pirate life, baby! So Blackbeard took the medicine and all of the valuables off the ships and passengers, and set sail. No one was hurt. Despite his wild reputation, Blackbeard wasn't a killer. He just looked like one. And that's enough. Eventually, shipping was allowed to continue, but the people of Charlestown were not at all pleased with what happened.
This sucks more than anything that has ever sucked before.
Eventually, the South Carolinian governor created his own 4-ship crew and went on the seas killing pirates. A faux revenge of sorts. Blackbeard and his men had made good their getaway, but they couldn't go back to the Bahamas now. They had done something too dangerous, even for them. So, Blackbeard and his men accepted the king's pardon and went to North Carolina to live in peace. But Blackbeard couldn't live in peace. The gentleman pirate I had mentioned earlier was hanged in Charlestown because he had accepted the king's pardon and still went on to be a pirate. Of course, Blackbeard wouldn't do anything as stupid as that. 2 French ships were down leagues away from Blackbeard and his best friends lived. And it also had happened that Blackbeard found some barrels of sugar. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but if Blackbeard says he found the sugar, I believe him. The problem is, no one else did. Had this been South Carolina, they probably would have hanged Blackbeard already, but North Carolina was a little more chill with the pirates. However, the lieutenant governor from Virginia, Alexander Spotswood, declared colonial law and marched into a neighboring state to take down Blackbeard and his men, dead or alive. On Oracoke Island, Robert Maynard and his men surprised Blackbeard and his men. Pirates did not surrender, and the battle began. All the pirates were killed, Blackbeard included, and when the fighting had stopped, they found Blackbeard with 20 sword wounds and 5 bullet wounds. This part's a little graphic, so fair warning. They cut off Blackbeard's head and put it atop one of their ships as a message. They said that Blackbeard was dead, and the other pirates were next. But it didn't really work, because the legend of Blackbeard still sails on. Give this video a like, subscribe, let me know what videos I should do next in the comments below. Until next time.